Kicking off for Tennessee, coming off a big win at home a week ago against LSU. They stand 3-0, unbeaten in the SEC at 2-0, while Georgia comes off a win against Arkansas. The Bulldogs 2-1 and even up in the SEC at 1-1. Justin Colquitt will kick for the Volunteers. And back to receive, Fred Gibson. And Kenny Bailey. And at the 5-yard line, underway. It's Bailey up the middle. And Bailey to the 26-yard line. There's David Green, redshirt freshman, a left-hander, threw for 298 yards in the Bulldogs win over the Arkansas Razorbacks just a week ago. A lot of high hopes for Georgia and David Green. And Andre, watch out. They like to open up in that no-huddle offense.
Now they huddled the first play of the game, but that may be about all you see today is one huddle, and then they'll go no-huddle the rest of the game.
3 wide receivers set. Green, the lefty, feels some pressure, throws to the flat, incomplete, and lets set the Bulldog offense. Up front, it's Stinchcomb, Jackson McGill, Breedlove, and Marshall. And in the backfield, Musa Smith, Haynes, your running back, Edwards and Gary, your wide receivers. Randy McMichael will start at tight end. So the incompletion brings up 2nd down and 10. Green again from the shotgun. Sets up good protection, throws, and a tough hit. The ball in the hands of Terrence Edwards, but incomplete. Andre Lott delivered the pop. Defensively for Tennessee, a tough front of Jackson Henderson, the Outland Trophy winner, Hainsworth, along there with Ritzman, Whiteside, Stevenson, and Moore are your linebackers. The corners, Lott and Greer, Baker and Battle, your safeties. And the defensive coordinator in the booth up top is John Chavis.
So he talked about blitzing most of the afternoon, early and often.
3rd down at 10. Again, pressure, but Green able to pitch the ball out to Michael Johnson, the sophomore. Julian Battle from his strong safety spot made the hit, but short of the 1st down. So it's a 3-up, 3-down series in the opening drive for Georgia. 2
completions for David Green, but really not anything that would affect the Tennessee defense. They may stay in base and try to apply some pressure with the front 4. He's going to have to move the ball around, spread it around, do a better job on 1st down.
Jonathan Kilgo, you see his average just under 44 yards a kick, is booted 159 on the season. Rashad Baker back to receive the kick. High hanger at the 25. Baker, room on the far side. Baker popped and thrown out of bounds at the 40.
It's what you like to see your return man do. Just take the ball and get what he can get with the blocks that are set in front of him. You don't pitter-pat, you don't move your feet around. You get the ball, you go north and south in the return game.
45-yard kick and a 15-yard return. Here comes Casey Clausen, only a sophomore, but Andre, very impressive, 9-1 as a starter, and he's drawn some comparisons to former Tennessee quarterback Peyton Manning. He had a slow start last week against LSU, couple of picks early, but came back with a very impressive game over 300 yards.
Absolutely.
First series for Tennessee from the 40. We'll start on the ground. Travis Stevens tripped up on the far side by Wansley. Travis Stevens, 5'9", 190, and here is Tennessee offensively. Sean Young and Weary, Wells, Herrera, and Offenhusel will be up front. Stevens and Bartholomew, the running backs. The wideouts, Graham and Kelly Washington. Keep your eye on 15. And John Finlayson is the tight end. Washington and Graham, 2 wideouts to the near side from the eye. 2nd down, call it 5. Again, the little guy pops through. So strong. Travis Stevens, the 5th-year senior, with the 1st down. Tennessee defensively now for the Bulldogs of Georgia. They'll go with Adrien, Jacobs, Sullivan, and Charles Grant up front. Linebackers are quick with Clemens, Gilbert, and Boss Bailey recovering from that ACL injury a year ago. And defensively, Thornton and Wansley. The corners, Vieira and Phillips, your safeties. And Brian Van Gorder, defensive coordinator, first year with the Bulldogs. First down, Tennessee at midfield. The workhorse. They've been giving the football to this little guy all season long. He had 41 carries against Arkansas, had 34 last week against LSU. And there's so much talk, Andre, the size. Oh, he can't handle the constant beating, but well, we talked to Travis Stevens, and you can just look at his body. He can take the hits.
Absolutely. He walked in the meeting room. He looked like he still had his shoulder pads on from practice. But you talk about size. Look at that offensive line. It averages about 300 pounds. It's good for a guy like that, 5'9", to just kind of hide behind his offensive line and work his way down the field.
Already, Stevens with 3 carries, 18 yards on this opening drive. Bobby Graham in motion. Again from the eye. And again, they run it right up the middle. Nice cut. Stevens breaks it, stumbles and falls at the 20-yard line. He was gone. Jermaine Phillips caught him. What a terrific run by the speedy Travis Stevens.
You got to watch Travis Stevens come through the hole. Here it's just a cutback, and he breaks back outside. Just an unreal run for Travis Stevens. Another look here. He just breaks outside, shows that power, that strength that we just talked about, Craig. Up the field, he would have been gone had he not lost his balance.
He's 23 years of age. He's waited his turn. There's been guys like, well, Jamal Lewis, Travis Henry. Stevens, a fifth-year senior. A 23-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the 20 of Georgia. And the quick throw, near side, watch out. Kelly Washington turns it upfield, out of bounds inside the 10 to the 7. Bruce Thornton. Bruce Thornton is a player that we talked about in meetings yesterday. They're going to try to pick on. They're going to try to pick on him at the corner.
He's going to have a bullseye on his chest most of the day. The last 2 games, he really hadn't had a good game since the first game of the season. 17th catch for Kelly Washington, and each one of them being for a first down this season. 21 yards already this year.
You look at the red zone this season, Tennessee going to try to punch another touchdown in. It's 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. This has been a Travis Stevens series. Double tight set. Stevens inside, try to go out, and a nice shoestring tackle by Jonathan Sullivan, the sophomore defensive tackle.
They finally stopped Travis Stevens behind the line of scrimmage, just actually getting back to the line of scrimmage. But what's been amazing to me is Tennessee being able to run the football. Georgia's bringing 8 guys, 9 guys sometimes in the box, and they're still able to block it and free Travis Stevens up for big games.
7th play of this drive approaching. Two wideouts to the far side. Again, I formation. Stevens goes in motion. They hand it off to the big fullback. Not much. Bartholomew, you might see, Andre, a little bit of a slip there on the handoff. Looks like the footing not that good. A little bit of rain early this morning.
Tell you what, it was David Jacobs that just fights off the block here and gets himself in, kind of falls into a frame. He beats Anthony Herrera to the inside, just kind of sticks his arm out there and was able to bring Wayne Bartholomew down.
That brings up 3rd and goal. Clock running under 11 minutes. Opening quarter here in Knoxville. Troy Fleming, number 27, is in, along with Jason Witten in motion, number 1. Little timing pattern to the corner. Over the shoulder. Touchdown, Washington.
Here's a look. Casey Clausen, just a 3-step drop and just lobs it into the corner of the end zone. Actually, Kelly Washington beats double coverage with it. Look at him get his feet down. Just a fantastic job by a receiver who hadn't really been playing receiver all that long. Just since spring ball.
Amazing.
Amazing.
Alex Walls with the extra point. And the kick, a tip shot up and through the uprights. Oh, impressive start for Tennessee. 7-0 in Knoxville. Well, Tennessee marches 60 yards for the touchdown to lead 7-0. Kelly Washington with his second touchdown catch of the season. Only took 3:18, Andre, but give some credit to Travis Stevens. 5 carries, 41 yards. And then after you're starting to play the run, you've got to worry about Kelly Washington in case he clocks him down with a nice little touch pass to the corner of the end zone.
The new weapon. He just gets his feet down and hadn't played receiver all that long, like we mentioned in the spring, and then comes in and first drive against the conference opponent, a big conference opponent, catches it for a touchdown.
Colquitt with the kick, a short kick taken at the 12-yard line. It's Fred Gibson up the middle, has some room, and Gibson puts Georgia in fine position at the 43-yard line. Colquitt had to make the tackle, and now, Andre, here's a look at the Exxon and Mobile playbook.
One of Georgia's favorite plays. You see the fullback's just going to kick out on the area outside defender here. He seals inside, allowing Musa Smith to turn up. He has one of 3 ways to go, either straight away, break it outside, or turn it up inside. Georgia loves this football play.
Edwards and Gray, the 2 wide receivers. Tennessee showing blitz. They go up the middle on a nice run by Musa Smith.
They're bread and butter, Craig. He has got to settle David Green down. He's got 2 completions early, but they want to be able to run the football, control some clock here, and then go right back to the no huddle.
Yeah, no huddle coming up on the 10-minute mark. Good look at David Green, 6'3", 222-pound redshirt freshman. And again on the ground, trying to work outside, breaks a tackle, first down Bulldogs. Musa Smith, ranked number 2, Andre, in the SEC in rushing, just about 110 yards a game, and guess who he follows? His counterpart today, Travis Stevens.
Yeah, he's just a fantastic back. Been compared, you're talking to Neil Callaway in meetings this week. Neil Callaway compares it to Antoine Smith, a guy that he coached down at my alma mater, the University of Houston.
1st and 10. Georgia at the 44 of Tennessee. On the play fake, the left-hander throws complete. And Ben Watson flies out at the tight end spot, makes the catch, his 8th reception of the season, and he was tackled down by Eddie Moore.
Good play fake there by David Green, using his eyes, watching the running back into the line of scrimmage, and basically hitting his tight end on an underneath route coming back across the field. Good job with his eyes, good play fake by David Green.
9-yard pickup. So it's 2nd down and 1. Green had a, or Watson it is, had to make his way back onto the football field. And it slows down the tempo of Georgia, as you saw there. Handoff goes out to Jasper Sanks, who backs up Smith. Whiteside made the tackle.
An interesting story on Jasper Sanks. He was in the recruiting battle with Jamal Lewis. Jamal Lewis committed to Tennessee. He decided to go to Georgia. He could be here playing on the Tennessee football team. He chose to go to Georgia. His last ball game against the school with which he could have played for.
Well, those recruiting wars are strange,
Unreal.
aren't they? David Green stands, throws, hot slant, caught. Great throw. Beauty of a catch. LeBron Mitchell, senior from Marietta, Georgia.
Good job by David Green, standing in and throwing the slant route. LeBron Mitchell uses his body to position the cornerback outside, allowing David Green a huge throwing lane.
14-yard pickup. Only the 4th reception of the season for Mitchell. Well, this crowd on their feet. Tennessee up by 7. Handoff, Sanks, and he's wrapped up from behind at the 15 by Constantine Ritzman.
Talking to Mark Richt this week, he mentioned the fact that he was concerned about Georgia's red zone scoring. They're down here inside the red zone. He wants to put more touchdowns on the board as opposed to just kicking field goals. So we'll see how the play calling goes down here.
2nd down and 7. 7th play of this drive. Again, shotgun. The left-hander. Good protection to the end zone. Incomplete. Had a man, got tied up at the goal line as LeBron Mitchell broke across the checkerboard end zone.
Yeah, just a little bit out in front of him. He had some pressure there by the front. Rashad Moore, the defensive right tackle, pressuring David Green and forced him to make a throw a little bit too soon.
Inside the red zone, you see 14 opportunities for the Bulldogs, 7 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and they turned it over twice. 3rd down. They need 7 for the first down. Green throws to the flat. Sanks has it, 20. Sanks 15, stops, and then flies around and picks up a couple of yards to the 13-yard line. Check that, Damian Gary, number 18. Saints wears the 28 on his back. Gary only a sophomore out of Athens.
This still has to do something for the Georgia confidence. You go down and you take one on the cheek by the Tennessee offense, and you come right back and you respond. You almost have to put points on the board. And they come right down the field, drive it down, and if the field goes good, it's definitely a positive for the Georgia sideline.
Well, Billy Bennett will try the field goal from 29 yards. He's 6 of 10 in that department this season. And from 29, Bennett connects.
Should be a chip shot for him. He hit a 54-yarder last week.
Impressive drive. They get 3. 7-3 in Knoxville, Tennessee, and Georgia. Oh, you needed a raincoat and an umbrella early this morning, but a beautiful day now. 7-3 our score, Tennessee over Georgia. Bulldogs, 9 plays, 45 yards. They cap it off with a 29-yard field goal by Bennett. And Brett Kerouac will kick away. Leonard Scott awaits, number 26 for Tennessee. Good kick. Scott driven back 4 yards deep. That's going to have to take a knee. We'll get the scoop on the SEC and see where your teams rank on the Sportsline 117 power rankings. Just go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword enter CBS Sportsline. It's that easy. Neyland Stadium, built in 1921.
Beautiful, beautiful facility. Absolutely breathtaking.
You know, the first time they put the bleachers in, 4,200, it now seats nearly 105,000. Second drive for Tennessee. They lead 7-3. Handoff off the right side, and Stevens bangs for about 5 to the 25.
Talking to Travis Stevens this week, he's likened his running style to Walter Payton. And when he walked in the room with his build, his big shoulders and big legs, not a tall guy, but God, he just delivers a punch. Every time you see him run the football, he's always moving forward. That's a pure sign of that power that he possesses.
6 carries for 46 yards here in the opening quarter. Casey Clausen under center. Second down and 5, and now whistles. Georgia calls the timeout. So they burn one early. And we'll take a break with 7:10 left. First quarter in Knoxville, and Tennessee on top 7-3. Now there's a look at Uga 6. Now he's the real one, by the way, Andre. Just pointing that out to you. English Bulldog. You know, that little guy weighs 55 pounds.
He's a cutie, isn't he?
Second down and 5. Georgia only had 10 on the field, forced to take that timeout. And it's lucky they got another man in. Didn't help much, though, because Travis Stevens continues just to run right through the front of Georgia's defensive front.
You can see the hole just open up. Anthony Herrera here with his block. Will Bartholomew and Travis Stevens just cuts it back into a big gaping hole on the backside. Scott Wells does a good job at the center position, hitting his guy on the backside, allowing Travis Stevens to cut it back.
Little quick throw to the sideline. And let's get an update on Iowa-Purdue. Tim Brando back in New York. Timmy?
All right, Craig. You know, Kyle McCann of Iowa is the 3rd most efficient quarterback in the country behind George Godsey and Rex Grossman. Here he hits Jeremy Allen, his fullback, coming out of the backfield. That ties the game at 7 in a battle of unbeatens in the Big Ten. Back to Craig and our rookie, Andre Ware.
It's been a long time since I've been a rookie.
Tim's taking shots at you early here. Second down and 5 from the eye. Casey Clausen, good protection. Little timing pass to the tight end, incomplete. Oh, Jason Witten so close. Casey Clausen, 62% completion rate early in this season. Nearly 600 yards passing. He picked up 309 last week against LSU. 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And he was booed a little bit in that first quarter when he threw the 2 picks against the Tigers.
2 touchdowns, just trying to force the ball early. He settled down and played outstanding in the second half of that ball game. He'll be fine. He will be fine. He's a good quarterback. And you got Peyton Manning, who you can call at any time with some advice. He'll be all right, I got a feeling.
How about that connection?
Oh, boy.
Peyton Manning still very tied closely to Tennessee. From the shotgun, 3 wide, 4 wide receivers. Clausen again to the tight end. Boy, he's hit and knocked back. Witten's a big target, too. Andre, 6'5", 265, and Tim Wansley at 172 said, you know what? I don't care. You're going backwards.
They got the matchup the play before with Witten on the outside against Boss Bailey matched up. He beat him off the line of scrimmage and Casey Clausen just overthrew him. He tried to get the same matchup again. Georgia went base defense and kept the cornerback out there. He made a fantastic tackle, Tim Walsley, on a big guy who weighs about 265 pounds.
Back to punt, Dustin Colquitt. His dad, Craig, punted here. Went on to play for the Steelers in a high hanger. Damian Gray at the 20 falls back to the 19-yard line. 37-yard kick. Well, tonight on CBS, critics give Citizen Baines 4 stars. Don't miss the new drama from the executive producer of The West Wing. Watch an all-new Citizen Baines tonight, only on CBS. There's a flag down.
Went on a special teams play. Do you not see it?
Kick catch interference on the kicking team. Violation of the 2-yard belt. 5 yards, first down.
That's a referee today, Tom Ritter. And so a first down at the 25. 7-3 our score, Tennessee. David Green goes back to work. Good play fake. Throws complete to the tight end. And rumbling is Randy McMichael, the junior from Fort Valley, Georgia. Andre Lott able to bring him down.
You see the left-hand quarterback, David Green, running right here. It just finds his tight end out in the flat here. Just gives it to him really fast for a first down. Good job by David Green. A good job of getting his hips and shoulders around to make that throw.
Andre, that's a tough throw. Left-hander rolling
Absolutely.
right. You know that.
Going left and throwing right is tough as well.
Again, nice play fake. Up and over the middle. Picked off. Rashad Baker. Baker taken down at the 17-yard line. He's got speed, runs a 10-7 100-meter, and nearly able to break it for 6.
Yeah, I don't really understand this throw, Craig. It's across the middle of the field. He's trying to work his slot receiver who's got man-to-man in the middle. Just a bad throw into the arms of Rashad Baker. Here, it's just play action pass, and he tries to actually force one. High throw, Rashad Baker just there to receive the interception. Almost broke it for a touchdown.
Damian Gary, the intended receiver, but right into the hands of Baker, who took it back 41 yards, and now Tennessee in fine field position, already up 7-3. Casey Clausen sets and throws, end zone, touchdown! Leonard Scott.
Casey Clausen works the pocket like a textbook quarterback. Drops back, pulls it down, starts to run with his eyes still down the field, and finds Leonard Scott in the end zone. I mean, just a fabulous job of stepping up in the pocket. There's nothing there, keeping his eyes down the field and finding Leonard Scott in the end zone.
First touchdown of the season for Scott. Boy, how strange a week ago. The boos against LSU as Clausen struggled with 2 interceptions. Here in the first quarter, 2 touchdown throws. Oh, they're singing Rocky Top in Knoxville. Tennessee strikes quickly on top of Georgia now, 14-3. 6 seconds, 1 play.
Impressive.
17 yards.
Impressive.
Clausen, 5 of 6 in this first quarter for 46 yards and 2 touchdowns.
You can tell he has a feel today. He's seeing the field. Everything's kind of slowed down. When you come out, you're either kind of fuzzy and things happen really fast, or they happen almost in slow motion. Today, it looks like Casey is happening for him in slow motion.
Good kickoff to Gibson at the goal line. Gibson weaves his way to the 20. Gibson at the 25. Gibson at the 30. Nice return, weaving his way through traffic. And so Georgia down 14-3, good field position, a 31-yard return.
Georgia almost in a position now, Craig, where they have to respond with some type of score just to get some momentum back. You've given up an interception. You go down the first play of the drive, they score a touchdown on you. You got to control the football, move it down the field, have some positive things happen in a hostile environment.
Last week, David Green with 298 yards so far today, 50%, 4 of 8 for 40 yards. Now you talk about hostile. You just look around this stadium. It's all orange. There is a bit of a section of red here. Play action to the flat. Nice catch, pulled down. Veron Haynes, the fullback, one of the captains for Georgia. And you know who sold that one? I mean, that was terrific play action by David Green.
For a young guy, you just have to be impressed with the way he runs the play action. Right here, play action looks out in the flat and hits Veron Haynes. Nobody accounted for him running up the sideline. Just a good job, a good play fake by David Green and finding the fullback up the sideline.
29-yard pickup. 1st and 10, Tennessee. Up the middle for the power of Musa Smith, averaging 109 yards a game, had 95 last week on 25 carries against Arkansas.
Musa Smith, Musa, the name standing for Arab Moses in Arabic, and he just kind of parts the Red Sea of his offensive lineman in front of him. He's a fantastic runner, a big, strong guy.
You know, he shows no real effects of a broken foot that he had in spring. Again to Musa Smith, running with ease inside the 30 to the 29-yard lines. Boy, just picking his way through, averaging 4.9 yards a carry coming into this game, and good size. Andre, 6'1", 212, only 19.
And that being a big factor, just a sophomore, and he's going to get better and better. Follows a long line of backs out of the University of Georgia.
Edwards and Gray, the 2 wide receivers, 1st down at the 29 of Tennessee. Again, the play action, and the lefty rolls left, throws incomplete. A little bit high, Randy McMichael, the intended receiver. Michael's a big target, 6'4", about 230. Eddie Moore on his back.
A good job of man coverage there by Eddie Moore. Tennessee's going to show David Green a lot of different looks. They want to blitz him, they want to play some man-to-man, and occasionally they'll drop into zone coverage. You'll see mostly man-to-man for David Green today.
Jasper Saints has checked in at the tailback. He'll get the carry off the left side and pops through. One thing, you don't need a lot of room for Jasper Saints or really even Musa Smith to find their way through this Tennessee front.
No, Jasper Saints kind of working his way out of the doghouse. Showed up in camp a little bit overweight, 250 or so pounds. Came in, worked his way down to 230, and has gotten himself out of the Mark Richt's doghouse.
Shotgun formation, 3rd down, and call it 5. Green sets up some throws, complete. 1st down, Edwards at the 16, and that's the 28th consecutive game that Terrence Edwards has hauled down a pass.
And I'll tell you what, it was a good job of running the pass route, runs a curl route along the sideline, and comes back to the football because he had man-to-man coverage the corner to that side, was barreling down on him to knock the ball away. Good job by Terrence Edwards.
1st down, Tennessee. Good drive. The Bulldogs have put together to the corner. Little time and pass. Batted away, incomplete. Boy, it was floating up there just a little bit for Terrence Edwards, and Teddy Gaines timed it perfectly.
Just a little fade route to the outside. Teddy Gaines does a good job of positioning his body on the inside and forcing the receiver to the sideline. You see him push him out here, forcing him out of bounds. Even if he'd caught it, he'd have been out of bounds. Good job by Teddy Gaines.
David Green, 6 of 12, 77 yards and the touchdown that led to the last touchdown for Tennessee. Oh, tough catch. Will they wrestle it away? They're going to call him down inside the 10-yard line. And that's going to bring some boos from this crowd. Andre Lott battling with Michael Johnson.
Andre Lott being their leader in the secondary, talking to him. He said that we will blitz David Green. We will play man-to-man. Look at this, how he just holds on, just fights and fights. Andre Lott eventually comes up with a football, but the referee blows it dead.
Well, they stack that backfield. 3rd and short. Flags are down. Hand off to Smith. Close, but a flag down around the 8-yard line.
Musa Smith, just like Travis Stevens, they run the football, and the pile always seems to go forward. Always just powerful, two powerful guys. One a big guy, Musa Smith, 6'1", 212.
There is no foul.
Being a smaller guy.
The formation was legal. We had 6 and 7 men on the line of scrimmage.
We're going to pick up the flag, Andre. The formation, they now say legal. And now another field timeout to check for the first down. I believe they're going to have to bring the chains out.
I think it's a situation here where Georgia almost has to go for this first down just to break the momentum up and just create some type of emotion, positive emotion along the sideline for the players.
It's going to be close. The football.
It's short.
So fourth down and very short.
And no hesitation whatsoever.
There's Mark Richt in his first year. Bulldogs off to a 2-1 start. David Green has got his instructions. And now this crowd alive. 10th play of the drive. Double tight set with McMichael and Watson. And again, they load up that backfield with an extra blocking back, J.T. Wall. Up and over. Musa Smith.
Yeah, I knew I liked Musa Smith when I read his bio, and it said that his hobby, Craig, was sleep. He liked to sleep. I knew I liked him because I played with a guy in Detroit who would sleep in the meetings. Barry Sanders, and he could run it well.
It's close enough to bring the chains out again. 2:18 left in this exciting opening quarter in Knoxville. Tennessee 14, Georgia 3. I don't think they got it. No! Wow.
Georgia goes into their goal line offense here. Just short yardage and goal line. Musa Smith trying to get the first down up and over the top. And just a wave of Tennessee defenders there to stop him just short. Good job there by the Tennessee defense.
Boy, Andre, the first time I looked at that, I thought it was easily a first down.
Absolutely.
I don't know if the spot was good, but yet it's now Tennessee football inside their own 10-yard line and a 14-3 lead. Flags are down. Stevens the ball carrier, but a flag down at the 8-yard line. Now this will be a test now for Georgia. So close and a very impressive drive, but stopped by that tough front of Tennessee.
Just an emotional letdown for the Georgia team here. You drive it down the field, you have
on the defense, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
I've been impressed with the Tennessee offensive line. They've made some changes. Sean Young making his first start of the season. And just some other, you move Anthony Herrera over to right guard. But they're still able to run the football effectively on a good Georgia front four.
Billy Washington, the lone wide receiver. They hand it off in a big hole, breaking through Travis Stevens to the 25. And for an update on Miami and Troy State, back to New York, and here's Tim Brando.
All right, Fred. Well, when you're number one and you're playing a team that just went Division I, you ought to be a 50-point favorite. But watch Brock Nutter hit LeBaron Black to tie the game at 7. And Virginia Tech doing well with Lee Suggs out for the year. They're up 2 touchdowns on the Mountaineers. Now back to that grizzled veteran Andre Ware and Craig Bolerjack.
Well, he's nearly got a quarter under his belt, Tim, that's for sure. 14-3. Tennessee. How about that Troy State score with Miami?
That's surprising.
Wow. Here in Knoxville, 1st and 10, Tennessee. And again, the holes are gaping for Travis Stevens. You know, when you have holes, Andre, that big, and you talk about can he take the pounding, there's no pounding involved here.
It really isn't. And he can carry it. You talk about 30 carries a game is what he's averaging. I could go down and run it 30 times a game with those kind of holes. Man, but you can't take anything away from Travis Stevens. He's just a great back who follows his blocks. He's been here. He's a 5th-year senior, and he knows how to run the football between the tackles.
Jacobs for the tackle for Georgia, and again on the ground. They're going to bread and butter. Just the ground game. This time it's going to be Larkins. Corey Larkins, who's a redshirt freshman, former defensive back turned tailback. That's his 11th carry of the season.
And they like all their running backs. Travis Stevens, Corey Larkins, and then you get Cedric Houston. You may see Troy Fleming line up in the backfield when they go to the one-back set.
Larkin stays in. Stevens gets a rest after 9 carries for 71 yards. 3rd down at 2. Works it outside. Good pursuit by Georgia, but they let him go. It's going to be close to the 1st down. Depends on the mark. They're going to bring the chains out. Charles Grant with the pursuit to make the tackle for Georgia. There's a look at Casey Clausen out of Northridge, California.
There's really no room there for Corey Larkins to run, and just does a good job of getting north and south pretty much all on his own.
By a half of football, and that's what Georgia needed on that last spot.
I thought Georgia had the 1st down on the that last drive, but boy, come up short. And Tennessee's offense, the way they're clicking right now, are going to make you pay.
See if Tennessee will run another play before the 1st quarter clock runs dry. They're going to let it run. That ends the 1st quarter with the score Tennessee 14, Georgia 3. We'll return to Neyland Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. Start the 2nd quarter here at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee, on top of Georgia 14-3. Casey Clausen with a pair of touchdown throws. One to Kelly Washington and the other one to Leonard Scott. Little pitch out, fumble. It's on the turf. And Clausen hustles back along with Travis Stevens. Craig Bullerjack and Andre Ware. Can I see the pose right now? There you go. Heisman Trophy winner, 1989. Andre, so far it's been Tennessee's ground game. Right there, that was the first mistake we've seen really by Tennessee. The ball goes on the turf, but Stevens and Clausen covers up.
They've done a good job running the football. Travis Stevens, big holes in front of him. And it opens up the passing game for Casey Clausen. He's done a good job of controlling the offense, running the offense. He's been effective.
So a loss of 8, 2nd and 18, and not much. Georgia pursuing very well up front. Let's go back to New York. Tim Brando with a college football update. Tim?
All right, fellas. Well, the quarterback for the Maryland Terrapins, Sean Hill, knows how to run the option. He does so here to give the Terps, who are screaming ACC at Bird Stadium, a 7-0 lead over Virginia.
All right, thank you, Tim. Quarterback with that option. He ran that just once or twice.
Only on short yardage and goal line situation.
3rd down, 17 for Tennessee from the shotgun. 3 wide out. They spread the backs. Clausen wants the deep ball. Man coverage. Incomplete. Good battle down that sideline. Hometown crowd wants a flag. They will not get one, but good coverage by Bruce Thornton on Leonard Scott. And Thornton's been the quarterback that's been picked on quite a bit, especially last week.
Really has, actually, the past 2 weeks. And talking to Tim Walmsley, he said he had a conversation with Bruce. Don't get yourself down. Play a good ball game. Let the pass be the pass. You got an opportunity to come out today and play a good ball game. Good coverage there by Bruce Thornton.
Colquitt will punt, and the left footer gets it away. Settling back, Damian Gray at the 30, Gray at the 40, Gray at the 45-50. Gray with one man to beat. 30, 25, goodbye. Georgia with the touchdown. Oh, what a beautiful return. There is a flag down. 72 yards, but I'm guessing that's going to be for, what would you think, Andre? Showing off just a little bit?
Like celebration foul on the kicking team. It was good.
So a 72-yard return after the 44-yard punt by Colquitt.
Greg, that gets you back into a ball game fast. The special teams play. It's unbelievable how fast one special teams play can change the outcome of a football game. Or you look here, it's just a little bit too much too much celebrating. They're going to have to actually kick almost a field goal. It's good.
That does turn the tables. 13-12 left.
Damian Gary with a big punt return for a touchdown. You see the punt. Here he just takes the punt in, and it's all Damian Gary. Sets it here and right up the middle of the field. Makes two guys miss, then all of a sudden it's he and the punter. One move outside and then back to the inside, and he is long gone.
72 yards for Damian Gary. And remember, they lost their kick return man, Reggie Brown, to a knee. And so Gary comes in and runs one back 72 yards. And the kick is 3 yards deep, and Scott will take a knee. And all of a sudden, tempo has changed in Knoxville.
It's excellent when your second guy can come in and break one for a touchdown, because Reggie Brown was the fastest guy on the Georgia roster. And to have him go down last week in last week's ball game and have a guy like Damian Gary step up and break one, that's big for the sideline of the Georgia Bulldogs.
You know, by the way, the last time a punt return for a touchdown, Chris McCraney against Texas Tech back in '93, a 45-yarder. This one goes 72. So 14-10, Tennessee on top of Georgia after the long punt return by Damian Gary. Clausen with the pitch. Stevens. And now the Georgia defense with good pursuit. Thursday on CBS, the #1 show on television returns for an all-new adventure in one of the world's most dangerous places. See it from the start and find out who will be the first one voted off. Survivor Africa premieres Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Injury on the field, and that does not look good with the shoulder. That's Berea. Second down, 11. Clausen, three-step drop. Washington turns upfield, always turning upfield to the 25-yard line. We'll keep an eye on Vieira, who left the field with that shoulder.
Washington just continues to impress me. He hadn't been in football, organized football, for 4 years. You watch film on the guy, and he catches a hitch route. He's right up the middle of the field. Sometimes when need be, he turns outside. He gets positive yards after the catch. Some guys that have played it for the last 15 years and are in the NFL don't know how to do that.
3 catches for Washington. Tennessee 2 of 4 on third downs. And now Clausen out of the pocket, heads to the sideline. Football on the deck. Well, he took a shot around the 27-yard line. Wansley delivered the blow.
He's a big, tough kid, though. 6'4", 210. Not a whole lot of room to run the football along the sideline. No one open. He just tucks it. He's got to tuck that football away. He's carrying it out there. Tries to go back inside and tucks it late. Look at this. He's just got to put the football away. Good job maybe just getting out of bounds a little bit earlier. Trying to play for the first down, though. On third down, you got to like the kid's courage, though.
Well, Colquitt will punt once again to the dangerous return man. Now we can label him that. After the 72-yard return, Damian Gary inside his own 35-yard line. Good snap, and the left footer again boots. Low line drive kick, takes a little bounce up around the 34-yard line. Gary drags a volunteer to the 44. 40-yard kick and a 10-yard return. CBS Sports coverage of the Home Depot College football will continue after this word from your local station. Well, some dark clouds still hanging around Neyland Stadium. Not chasing the crowd out of here, I'll tell you that. A lot of orange, as you see.
They aren't going anywhere.
And there are Bulldog fans. Hey, Halloween's still 3 weeks away. Nice cape. Second quarter, 11:22 left. Green sets and throws, connects. Oh, what a catch. McMichael, the junior. And Rashad Baker hit him up around the numbers.
What a big lick. You see the tight end's just going to cross across the middle of the field. Here you see him work down on the inside, a little post route, beats his man, and makes a fabulous catch before Rashad Baker knocks it, just kind of sends him backwards.
McMichael, 228, 6'4". 2 catches now for 32 yards. That was 19. Back to the ground. Musa Smith wrapped up at the 30.
Mark Richt is in a mode now. He's really comfortable calling plays. A pass on first down, a run on second down, kind of mixing things up against this the aggressive Tennessee defense.
Musa Smith, as Mark Richt looks on, 7 carries, 33 yards the hard way. 2 wide outs to the top of your screen. Green sets and throws, incomplete. A quick out to Freddie Gibson, the intended receiver. That stops the clock with a 10:39 left in the first half. With Georgia outgaining Tennessee 150 to 122.
Yeah, Tennessee playing from a short field most of the afternoon.
Tennessee showing blitz, and now there's movement and flags. Andre, interesting question. Will Overstreet, the terrific right defensive end, you wonder if they miss him today?
I think you have to. He's such a talent. You talk to Coach John Chavis. He
And offside on the defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Constantine Richmond starting for Will Overstreet. Talked to Coach Chavis, and he feels like Will Overstreet's one of the best defensive ends in the entire country. Not just that you're losing a good football player, one of the best in the nation.
First and 10 from the 25-yard line. Again, the play fake, the left-hander throws, threads it. He makes that catch. You gotta be kidding. At the 7, McMichael with some terrific receptions on this drive. What a bullet delivered by Green.
Just a crossing route coming from the other side of the field, and McMichael just stretches out between 2 defenders and makes a fabulous grab. McMichael, 3 catches for 50 yards already in the first half.
Well, that one goes 18, and not much on the run as they stacked it up around the 10. Stevenson in on the stop. Reese Smith will take a break.
Talk about Mark Richt being in the rhythm calling plays. David Green is playing some pretty good football, throwing some pretty good passes right now in this second quarter.
Jasper Saints, number 28, checks in at the tailback spot. And flags will drop at the 12 and stop play.
You get a coach and a quarterback in sync.
Ball start, moving to the offensive line, 5-yard penalty, go second down.
Mark Richt and David Green, and it just makes it so easy when you're in a football game. You block out this crowd, the coaches, he's in a rhythm, the quarterback is feeling the plays that he's calling, he gets himself in a rhythm, and it becomes easy offensively.
Now, both coaches mentioned something called the zone, the slow motion that they see the defensive secondary especially. You obviously lived through that several times.
If you're a basketball player, you compare it to what Michael Jordan says. The hoop gets to about the size of a trash can, you can shoot it so well. That's how it feels for a quarterback. Everything just slows down, and you're like operating at full speed.
And a timeout called. The second one burned by Georgia. We'll take a break. Bulldogs knocking on the door. Oh, Tech up 21 on the road. Impressive start this afternoon. Here it's 14-10 Tennessee, but Georgia looking at second down and goal, and a lot of time left in this opening half. And Tennessee's defensive coordinator, John Chavis, looking on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 men in the box. Green sets up. Oh, what a pass. Touchdown. Georgia, Fred Gibson. $15 yards.
Just a little under route here by the receiver. It's cleared out by the tight end going up the middle of the field, and David Green just does a good job of seeing it out and delivering the football on time.
Gibson, the freshman. He did not have a reception, Andre, before today. Had some kickoff returns a week ago, but Gibson from 15 yards. And boy, Georgia on the road up by 3. Georgia on the road leading 17-14, and the Bulldogs go 7 plays, 56 yards. Gibson, his first career reception, goes for a touchdown, 15 yards. Welcome to SEC football.
Pretty good way to get your first catch and have it go for a touchdown. Just a good job by David Green of reading it out. Tight end takes the free safety out of the play and a little slant route underneath. Good timing. Good job. David Green, 10 out of 17. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 136 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's had 7 different receivers. I mean, you're keeping everybody happy.
He's moving it around.
Kick is away. Leonard Scott, no chance for a return. Well, let's take a look at our SEC moment presented by Sonic. We take you back September 6, 1980. Georgia's freshman running back Herschel Walker breaks a few tackles and steamrolls over his future Cowboy teammate Bill Bates for his first collegiate touchdown. Georgia went on to defeat Tennessee that day, 16-15. That's the last time Georgia won here at Knoxville, 1980.
That's a long time. It's been a long, long time coming for the Bulldogs.
14 unanswered points by Georgia. Bulldogs lead 17-14. Tennessee going back to work, and they're sniffing out that ground game. Good tackle, Tony Gilbert busting through to drag down Travis Stevens.
Not a whole lot of room for Travis Stevens to run, but the Georgia Bulldog defense, they've gotten confidence. Ever since that punt return, just kind of interjected some energy into that defense. It kind of overflows through the whole football team. They're playing now with a lot of positive emotion.
It was 14-3 Tennessee after the first quarter, and as you mentioned, this second quarter has been all Tennessee, all Georgia. Gary, 72-yard punt return, and then Gibson's touchdown, and Georgia leads 17-14. Second down, 10. Again, through the middle, big hole. Stevens heading to the sideline at the 40. Stevens at the 35-30. Stevens at the 20. And ridden out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
They are just going to ride the back of Travis Stevens. Here, just a handoff and a big cutback. Just no one in the hole to bring him down. Terrell Vieira was there to make a play, couldn't arm tackle him, tries to get back in the picture, but Travis Stevens, he shows some speed. We asked him, are you a power back or are you a speed back? He says, Andre, I'm both. I can do it all.
Boy, he loved Walter Payton because Payton did have the power and the speed, and then always quickly to jump up. 127 yards in the first half on 14 carries for Travis Stevens. And his 4th career 100-yard game, and a timeout on the field. 8:24 to go in this track meet. We'll be back. What Philip Fulmer, Andre, must be thinking. Had a comfortable 14-3 lead after 1, and now Georgia up 17-14, but his Vols in scoring position at the 16-yard line. By the way, that run of 64 yards was Tennessee's first down this quarter.
Wow.
Witten, the tight end in motion, flips it out, and Witten, the big target, hard to take down, but wrestled out around the 13-yard line by Jermaine Phillips.
Yeah, Jermaine Phillips is a leader on actually on the entire team. We asked the coaching staff, who are the leaders on the team? Jermaine Phillips, his name popped up first.
Flags are down, and here's Tom Ritter.
Offside on the defense. 5 yards. Go first down.
We kind of liken this football game to two boxers standing in the middle of the ring, just kind of swinging at each other. Tennessee will hits Georgia with a punch. Georgia comes back. They hit Tennessee with a punch, and now Tennessee's coming back. They've got it ready to swing again.
First down and 5. And again, not much as Corey Larkins is ridden down. David Jacobs, the nose tackle's been active. Makes the tackle, 2-year letterman out of Atlanta.
Really does a good job of using his hands, fighting off blocks, his quickness. He's really quick from the nose tackle position and gets himself in a position to make a lot of tackles.
Andre, we talked to Jacobs, and, you know, he said his bench is now up to 405. I said 405. Well, you know, I'm gaining strength every day. He's been on that summer workout program, and his bench press, he's up to 70 pounds.
70 pounds.
Second down and 5. Stevens hops past the 8 and then hit and dropped. Boy, caught some air, but Jacobs again flew around and made the hit.
It's one of those Walter Payton moves. You get inside and you right up the middle of the field, and here, just go. I'm going to go punish him. I don't care if he's a defensive lineman weighing 265. I'm 5'9", 190 pounds. I'm going to bring the initial lick to the defense, and that's how Travis Stevens runs the football. He's going to deliver the blow.
Stevens will get a rest. Tennessee, Andre, 2 of 5 today on third down conversions. Here it's third down and 3 from the 9. Witten in motion. Casey Clausen, good protection, throws incomplete. Boy, a tough, dangerous throw. Witten had it momentarily, but good coverage led by Gilbert and Boss Bailey.
Casey Clausen got away with one there. He throws into the middle of the field. It's actually almost triple coverage. Tony Gilbert and Boss Bailey right in the middle, trying to hit Witten on a little turnaround inside, and just trying to squeeze the football into a small area.
For those coaches, you can see first it was Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator. A little stress on the face. Bill Fulmer had some stress on his face. Today's attendance, by the way, 107,592, 10th largest at Neyland. 25-yard field goal attempt. Alex Walls, the kick is away and through the upright. So the battle continues. 17 all in Knoxville. 6:41 left in the first half. Georgia, Tennessee. You talked about boxers. Well, they're exchanging punches. 17 all. Volunteers, 6 plays, 72 yards, and 2:37 off the clock. A 25-yard field goal by Walls.
I got my scorecard even.
You're ringside.
That's right.
You are ringside. You know, this crowd plays such a big part of success here in Knoxville, and the 10th largest crowd. A little quiet here in the second quarter.
I think they're a little surprised. A lot surprised, actually.
Kenny Bailey and Fred Gibson back to receive the kick from Walls. Now the wind swirling a little bit. The flags are up top of the stadium, have been pretty much straight out all afternoon. That one, this time the ball falls off the tee. A little rainstorm blew in early this morning. Still cloudy, but the rain stopped around 9 o'clock. 50 degrees at game time. Not bad.
My cutoff temperature at all. 50 degrees. Not playing if it's under 50.
Again, the ball comes off the tee, so they're going to have to bring somebody over and hold it down. Let's see. Now Walls is going to call for some help. And Lott will take a knee and hold that football in place. And they'll try it again. Little squiver on the deck, covered up at the 37-yard line. And coming up next here on CBS, second game of our SEC doubleheader. Number 2 ranked Florida taking on 18th ranked LSU. Good matchup of quarterbacks. Jabbar Gaffney also in. Rohan Davey, Rex Grossman. Well, look at the numbers on the year. 5 touchdowns for Grossman, 2 for Davey. For more college football news, go to cbs.sportsline.com or enter AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. 17-17, Georgia, Tennessee. Up on the ladder. Did he have possession? Incomplete. Gibson was on the top rung, but Lott able to pop that ball loose, incomplete.
I think just at the last second, Andre Lott was able to get his hands in and knock that football out. See Gibson down the sideline, just actually underthrown. You see the hand here of Andre Lott just getting it in there, knocking it out. Good defensive play there by Andre Lott.
That brings up second down and 10. Georgia from the I. Handoff, Musa, Smith, no gain. Maybe lost about a half a yard. You know, Musa Smith, they say, likes maybe a better runner, Andre, between the tackles.
Yeah, he really is. He's a big back at 6'1", 212 pounds, and is not afraid to run between the tackles. He's got speed to get outside, but he likes running inside.
Georgia, 1 of 4 on third down tries today. Crowd in the stadium shaking on third down and call it 10. Green under pressure, throws. Saints has it and then takes a hit and dropped at the 37-yard line. Kevin Burnett was the first ball to meet him. So now Georgia 1 of 5 on third downs, and the Bulldogs forced to punt. Kilgo will kick to Rashad Baker. Kilgo averaging just under 44 yards a kick on the season, as long as a 59. And the right footer sends a boomer. Big time. Inside the 15, still bouncing and into the end zone. 63-yard boot. And coming up on the halftime report, Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman will get you caught up on all of today's action, including 4-0 South Carolina taking on Kentucky. And they'll preview the second game of our doubleheader between Florida and LSU. That's all coming up on our halftime report.
That should be a pretty good football game. LSU and Florida.
Oh, what a doubleheader. SEC action today on CBS. Oh, the eyes of Casey Clausen. Under 5 minutes left. The throw, Bartholomew, the fullback. He's a good receiver and tough to bring down. And for an update on South Carolina, Kentucky, let's go to New York. Tim Brando. Tim.
Fred Lou Holtz trying to get South Carolina to 5-0 for the first time since '88. Phil Petty hands it off to big Andrew Pennick to make it a 7-0 game against the Big Blue. Troy State, who played Nebraska tough for a half earlier in the year, trails 17-7. Hurricanes just into the end zone. They're up 10.
You saw Dorsey there coming up on the 200-yard mark for Miami. 17 all here in Knoxville. Second down, 8. Clock coming up on the 4-minute mark of the first half. On the ground, another handoff, Stevens to the 25-yard line. Andre, let's check out the SEC standings in the East. South Carolina, what a great turnaround. Lou Holtz, 4-0 overall, undefeated in conference play. You have Tennessee and Georgia battling. Georgia with the 1 loss, and you have Kentucky and Vanderbilt bringing up the backside.
You just had to know that it wouldn't take Lou Holtz long at South Carolina. His ability to coach football, just a phenomenal job in such a short period of time.
Third down and 5. 3:40 left, opening half. Clausen goes to the shotgun. 4 wideouts. Clausen throws over the middle, caught. We haven't heard from Kelly Washington since the early part of the first quarter, but we saw that a lot in practice, Andre, on Thursday. Just those hot slants, and Washington on the back end of that reception.
Yeah, you line him up. He's isolated inside on a linebacker. He sets him outside and cuts back to the middle of the field. Caught Georgia in a 2-deep zone defense. The weakest part of the defense is in the middle of the field, and he works it like a veteran, like he's been here for 3 years. The kid continues to amaze me.
4 catches, 47 yards, just under 12 yards of catch and the touchdown. First and 10 from the 46-yard line. Stevens bangs into a wall of White. He'll lose a yard back to the 45.
Charles Grant and Boss Bailey around the line of scrimmage. Boss Bailey playing with a broken hand. Just got his fingers freed up this week. He's had a cast on it with a closed cast last game. They finally got his hands freed up here. You see his hands, his fingers here. He's had that all enclosed most of the season, and finally got some fingers freed up to make able to make some plays tackling with his hands.
Second down. Oh, incomplete. Leonard Scott so close to the catch. I was just thinking about Boss Bailey. It has to be tough playing with a club. I mean, in the sense of not being able to make that grasp, and he must feel so much freer today.
It's hard enough to make tackles when you have two good hands, but when you enclose one, when your fingers are enclosed, now to just have some freedom, but still playing with a broken hand and a cast, that's tough.
Missed all of last year with that ACL and says he's back 100%. Tennessee 3 of 7 on third down tries today. From the shotgun. Lawson, good protection again over the middle. Little catch and pitch. Nothing fancy. We saw it again Thursday. In practice, it's Kelly Washington somehow finding his way open in a pretty good coverage scheme by Georgia.
You talk about a guy who's versatile. He can play inside. We saw the last play inside. Now he goes outside, works across the middle of the field. In a little square route, Casey Clausen just times it just right, hits him right out of the break for a first down.
17-yard pickup. Boy, his totals now beginning to mount. 5 receptions, 64 yards. Tennessee on the move as his first half closing in on the 2-minute mark. Incomplete. 2 receivers in the area. Falls incomplete.
Along the sideline, Kelly Washington, a chapter out of Michael Irvin's book. Just a little shove to get himself open. This guy plays like he's been in college football for years. He has been off for 4 years. Hadn't played organized football for 4 years. Didn't even play wide receiver. He was a quarterback in high school, and he has all the ability that you ever want from a receiver.
You may have to redo that movie, The Natural. He's amazing. Second down and 10. Clausen under pressure now. He dumps it off to the flat far side, and the big tight end, Witten at 6'5". Makes the reception. Wansley chopped him down inside the 25-yard line. And Witten, they tried to, well, not reinvent, but let's just say involve the tight ends in this Tennessee offense once again. Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator, told us, you know what? We went down to Tennessee. We watched how the Titans do it with flight check, and we taught these guys how to read defense. And Witten doing a nice job. Washington, they're going to call him out of bounds. Try to get the foot down around the 16-yard line. Out of bounds, the call. Stops the clock with 1:44 left.
I've been impressed with Casey Clausen in this game. Just the way he's maneuvering in the pocket. Here on this play, Casey steps up and makes a throw outside. I think he's in. You look there, his foot is in. He's made the grab already. The left foot is definitely in. Bad call there by the officials. He dropped the ball on that one.
Here's Tom Ritter.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot.
You heard the
First
booth
down.
when they saw the replay on the pass that was ruled out of bounds, and now holding called against Tennessee, and that brings the ball back to the 35-yard line. So first and 20 with 1:44 left in this first half. Lawson pedals back, throws it out to the flat with a screen, and a nice hit delivered. Troy Fleming made the catch, and Wansley has been hitting all day long for Georgia.
Been all over the football field.
Wansley, all SEC a year ago.
David Jacobs, Tim Wansley, all over the field today.
Incomplete. Casey Clausen, Andre, you know this is a former quarterback going through his progression reads. Good coverage by Georgia, then went out to the flat to his safety man, Bartholomew.
Sometimes when you get hot as a quarterback, you drop back and you take your footwork for granted. Casey Clausen there just kind of tries, he drops back and nonchalantly just flips it out there, thinking, okay, this is an easy throw. Sometimes that little flip route out to a back out of the backfield is the hardest one to throw.
Well, you know, wherever you go, you still see people remembering the tragedies of New York, Washington, outside in Pennsylvania. Yeah. Still on the minds of so many. 17 all Tennessee and Georgia. 1:13 left. Opening half. Third down. 15. Clausen throws underneath. It's caught. Stevens. Stacked up still. Second effort. Did they whistle him down? I don't think they did. That one official now steps in.
Looks like the line
at the 18-yard line. Hit by Gilbert. Tony Gilbert, the middle linebacker.
You just have to be impressed with Casey Clausen's poise in the pocket, worked in the pocket like a 10-year NFL veteran, stepping up, and that's got to be a direct reflection from working with Peyton Manning over the summer. A guy works the pocket as if, you know, he's a fifth-year senior.
And Clausen told us, tries to talk to Peyton Manning twice a week, made a phone call on Thursday night, but not able to reach the Colts quarterback.
I'm sure they've talked before game time.
And Tennessee will use a timeout, their final timeout. Georgia has one if they need it. 20 ticks left on this first half card. Well, Tuesday on CBS, attorney Nick Fallon is the master of the corporate wars, but now that he's been sentenced to defend children, his toughest battles aren't about money. Don't miss an all-new episode of The Guardian, Tuesday, right here on CBS. Zeeland Stadium, third largest in the country. Michigan ranked number 1, Penn State number 2, and right here in Knoxville, number 3. It holds officially 104,079, Andre, but they've packed in 108 plus many occasions.
108 last week. I just wonder where the extra 4,000, 3,000 seats, where are the extra 3,000 fans?
I'll see. I'm looking for pull-out
bleachers. Standing room somewhere or something?
Must be. Oh, there's a lot of people standing, yeah, up around that top corridor here.
I tell you, when they start jumping and beating their feet on the steps, it gets kind of scary. The whole place starts to shake.
Alex Walls will trot in to try the field goal.
And a smart decision, I think.
This will be a 34-yard attempt. Walls hit a 29-yarder earlier in this quarter. Good snap, good hole, and the chip shot from 34 is no good. And look, it's Phil Fulmer. An impressive drive, and Walls can't make it from 34.
Just a good snap, a good hold. Just pulls it a little bit left. Good hold, just pulls it a little bit left. I'll tell you, Coach Fulmer was just a little bit disappointed because I think he was in the process of maybe going for it on fourth down and second guessing, okay, we'll kick the field goal and go into halftime up 20 to 17.
So 17 all after 2 quarters here in Knoxville. Georgia on the road. They were down 14-3 after the first, but rallied back, and it's tied at 17. Now remember, Tennessee won the toss, so they wanted to start the third quarter with the football, so Georgia will kick away. You know, last week, a very important story that came out of the Tennessee-LSU game was the John Henderson, the 2000 Outland Trophy winner, who really challenged his team and said, let's go out and play Tennessee football, which they did and beat LSU. You wonder if Henderson didn't have to have another talk in the locker room. And that kick bounces out of the end zone, so the Vols will start this drive at their own 20-yard line. All right, here's our Aflac trivia question. Who is the only player to win the Outland Trophy twice?
Going back to your point on John Henderson and his talk last week in the locker room, he directly challenged Casey Clausen to up his game. This is your team. You're the leader of this football team. Go out and play like you're the leader or stay in the locker room. Well, Casey Clausen did it. I wonder if Casey went and challenged John this week because John's been a little quiet on the defensive side of the ball.
has been bothered by the high ankle sprain, but has not been too active this afternoon. So we start the third quarter tied at 17. Tennessee with the football, and they go to what was so effective in the first half, and that's the run to Stevens, but not much. Tony Gilbert, the middle linebacker, right there to make the stop. Gilbert led this team in total tackles a year ago with 96 out of Macon, Georgia.
Tony Gilbert, just a presence in the middle of the Georgia defense, around the football all the time, falling into place, making plays, reaching out. Just a good, solid, sound football player.
Second down and 10. That's the play card of Tennessee offensive coordinator Randy Sanders. He was a quarterback here back in the mid-'80s. Second down and 10. No gain on that run by Travis Stevens. Ooh, a little stumble on the ball, and he's down at the 15-yard line.
As a quarterback, you hate when that happens. Center just trying to make a pass block for you, get in his pass set, and he steps right down on your foot. You can't get back. One thing, it's embarrassing because it looked like to everybody you just falling down, but the center or the guard tends to do that to a quarterback. Every once in a while you'll have a play like that. It's bound to happen. Happens to all of them.
A loss of 4, third down and 14. Washington, Graham, and Scott, the three wideouts for Tennessee. Shotgun for Clausen. Tennessee runs. And a few boos to start this third quarter. So not much for the Volunteers. Gilbert and Boss Bailey teamed up to make the hit. Now an opportunity, Andre, for Georgia to have some good field position here.
You've got to be impressed with the way Georgia has approached this football game. Really had the one big mistake, the interception by David Green. But they played very well in the first half and kept themselves in the ballgame.
Well, they get the punt away. That takes a big Georgia bounce. That's like the 7-iron that you pop in there.
You go backspin, huh?
And backspin it back to the 30, call it the 39-yard line. So Georgia would find field position. Only a 21-yard kick. Bulldogs have it when we come back. Georgia, Tennessee, 17-all, 12:56 left third quarter. Volunteers unable to move on their first series. Now Georgia will get their chance. Little pitch out. Musa Smith stops in his tracks, reverses direction, and picks up a couple of hard yards to the 38-yard line. Musa Smith, by the way, in that first half with 9 carries for just 30 yards.
Yeah, just a little play there out of the chapter out of the West Coast offense. A little misdirection play. You send the fullback one way, you spin out and kick it back to the tailback going the other way.
Georgia trying to push with that hurry-up offense. They give a yard gain to Musa Smith. Back to the ground. Smith, 32, rumbles in that stack of orange to the 36-yard line, and the charge led by Eddie Moore out of South Pittsburgh. Well, I would think the confidence of Georgia, I'm sure it was a calm locker room. I don't think it was that way with Tennessee.
No, I think it was a very emotional locker room. I'm very trying to get some type of motivation going, get the guys to play at a little higher level. You're at home, you're in front of 107. Come on, let's go out, guys. Let's answer the bell.
Well, this crowd beginning to get a little antsy themselves. Up on third down and 7. They bring some pressure. Green sidesteps and throws. Incomplete. A sliding grab by Michael Johnson, but out of bounds.
But what a throw by David Green. Just the receiver not able, Michael Johnson not able to get his feet down. But what a throw by David Green. Here he's just got pressure. They send the blitz. Jabari Green right here. It looks like he may have got one official. Looks like he wants to rule him in. The other one saying no way. It is close. It was close, Greg. Extremely close.
So now that brings up a punting situation for Georgia. Jonathan Kilgo in at midfield. This will be an opportunity for one of those punch pooch shots inside the 10 or the 5-yard line. High hanger. They got it down at the 1. Great punt coverage by Georgia.
What a heads-up
It
play
was
by Tim
Wansley.
Wansley.
It was Tim Wansley.
One of the leaders on the football team, but what a heads-up play. Feels his momentum, taking him into the end zone, and just kicks the ball back out right here. He downs right there. The official comes in and rules the ball down. Good job.
Timeout. We'll be back. Now we're going to put you inside that Tennessee huddle. Not a bad seat in the house, and maybe the best seats right there for Phil Fulmer, working the gum over as this drive will start inside Tennessee's 1-yard line. A little keeper. Clausen just trying to give the Vols some breathing room, and he pushes the ball to the 3-yard line.
A lot of offensive coordinators, when you're in a situation like this, you take a three-step drop and just flop it out to a wideout, throw the fade route along the sideline. You're looking for either a big hit or pass interference. You got Kelly Washington out there, a phenomenal athlete who can make plays for you. They want to take a look at them.
And Andre, this drive may test the young confidence of a Casey Clausen. Now, this isn't cocky confidence. This is just young confidence that both Phil Fulmer and Randy Sanders, the offensive coordinator, they appreciate very much. And a quick throw. Did he make the grab? It was Washington down on a knee. And Washington will call it complete at the 7-yard line.
That'll give him some breathing room. Coach Brian Van Gorder, he's called a pretty conservative game defensively. Not a whole lot of blitzes on Casey Clausen. Down on this end of the field, though, you wonder if he's going to bring some extra pressure. A couple of extra guys around the line of scrimmage here.
You know, Georgia's defensive identity may be changing too with this whole new coaching staff. We were told by most of the defensive players this is a fly-around defense.
Yeah.
3rd down and 4. Clausen pedals, throws, complete. First down to the 19-yard line.
Once again, Casey Clausen to Kelly Washington. You're watching a guy, I can't say it enough, you're watching a guy who did not play receiver in high school, has not played organized football for 4 years. He's been playing baseball for the Florida Marlins baseball organization.
We watched him throw in practice. He was a third baseman shortstop in the Marlins organization. Folks, he can let it fly.
Absolutely.
First down and 10 from the 19-yard line. Not much, but a second effort. Look at Travis Stevens as he bowls his way to the 24-yard line. There's our Aflac trivia question. Who is the only player to win the Outland Trophy twice? And here's the answer. Dave Remington from Nebraska, 1981, 1982. And there's that do back in the 80s for Dave Remington.
Yeah, it's a good Nebraska football team. Opened up some big holes for fraternity brother Mike Rozier, Heisman fraternity brother.
And of course, the question now here down in Knoxville around the country, can John Henderson duplicate that feat by Remington? Stevens again. Spins and picks up 2-3 extra yards. His second effort is very impressive. Very impressive. Terrell Vieira, the free safety, came up to make the tackle. But he was stopped maybe for, what, a 2-yard gain, but picks up 5.
He's a north and south type runner. Gets up the field. The pile's going to go in his direction, in his favor. But he's got quick feet as well. Gets in and out of the line of scrimmage and has a burst to get around the corner as well.
Well, he waited his turn, a 5th-year senior, and of course some great backs here at Tennessee. Jamal Lewis, Travis Henry, and now it's Travis Stevens. Well over 100 yards today, and again, battling, stopped and pushed back, led by David Jacobs, who's had a fine football game for Georgia.
Yeah, David Jacobs always around the football. Playing off the offensive lineman to his side. Just steps inside, whirls his way back, and falls right into the play.
So Colquitt will punt from his own 15-yard line. And Damian Gary, who returned a second-quarter punt, 72 yards for a touchdown, awaits. Colquitt does not want the ball in Gary's hands, and it bounces out of bounds around the 39-yard line. So once again, though, Georgia was in pretty good field position, Andre. 32-yard kick. 7:42 left in the third, and we'll be back. Craig Bowler, Jack, Andre Ware. Third quarter, 7:42 left here. As Uga, that's Uga 6, looks on. 17-17 Bulldogs Volunteers. Musa Smith, 3 yards, and the pounding is getting pretty tough in that front line. Again, likes to run between the tackles. And Sunday on CBS, share a night with America, your favorite TV stars. Don't miss the Emmy Awards, and they come to you live Sunday after 60 minutes right here on CBS. Second down, 7. Green throws. Smith in the flat, breaks the tackle, and still lunges forward to the 45. Took a hard hit low by Eddie Moore.
Yeah, David Green does a good job of play action to Musa Smith. Excuse me, Jasper Sankson hits his fullback, Baron Hayes, out in the flat. What you don't want to have happen if you're Tennessee is for this Georgia offense to get hot. You've allowed them to hang around all afternoon.
Tennessee showing blitz. They try to time the snap count. They bust the line, and now a flag.
Got to watch the football. Listening to the quarterback's voice, he jumps off sides.
Here's Tom Ritter.
Offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty resulting in a first down.
Andre, how many times did you try to change count cadence calls? And can you really mess up a defense that way?
Usually on third down. Sometimes on first you like to do it. You get yourself a free 5 yards, but short yardage situations, third down and 4, where the 5 yards will get you a first down. You change the cadence up, bark it hard on a hard count. Try to get a guy to jump.
That gives Georgia a first down at midfield. Green, play fake, chase from behind and through as he was tackled. We're going to call that incomplete at midfield. Henderson was on the motor. I mean, Henderson got some help from Lott, who was on the coverage.
There's big John Henderson. He's closing in from the back. Gets David Green around the right around the knee area, and he was able to get it off. John Henderson finally waking up in the second half.
You know, he's had the high ankle sprain, as we mentioned, but a lot of the coaches say, hey, you got 300 pounds you're carrying around. It's tough to come back. On the run. Oh, what a throw. Did he get his foot down? He did.
What a catch by Terrence Edwards along the sideline.
Edwards with only 1 reception in the first quarter. And Edwards with an acrobatic move on the far side. They're going to call it complete.
Now, David Green rolling left to his favorite side. Throws it outside along the sideline. Terrence Edwards, 1 foot. That's all you need in college football.
Good call. Third down and short. Sanks. Jasper Sanks. Close to the first down. Depends on the mark. Eddie Moore had him wrapped up.
Really has gotten himself into shape, down around 230 pounds, maybe a little lighter. Was able to run the football a lot more effectively for Coach Mark Richt and his offensive staff.
Timeout on the field, so they'll bring the chains out. And just short. All right. Mark Richt, first-year head coach. What do you do?
Georgia's kind of, they have to feel like they're on the road, because they've come up short on every measurement today. It seems like they always go into fourth down. Even on a fourth down, they had it. Came up a little bit short. They're going to talk about it.
They're going to take a timeout. Their first of this half they'll use, and so David Green makes his way to the sideline. 6:02 left. Let's go back to New York. Tim Brando with a college football update.
Much as was the case against Nebraska, Troy State plays tough, but Miami pulling away in the second half. Jared Payton, son of sweetness, takes it in, making that a 31-7 lead now for the #1 Cage. And Virginia is in the red zone, down by 10, coming back against Maryland, 24-14 in the third. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Tim. Walter's son finding the end zone for Miami. I'll tell you, that program hasn't missed a beat. as Butch Davis made his way to the NFL ranks with Cleveland, but left behind a lot of talent.
A lot of talent. He recruited well while he was there. Left just a stable full of talent there in Miami. Hey, I've been impressed with Ken Dorsey at quarterback. If I had to go out on a limb and pick a Heisman favorite or a leader at this point in the season, I think I would point it at Ken Dorsey.
Now they brought the entire offensive 11 to the sideline. Now they're going to bring them out and punt. So 4th and short, Kilgo will punt. And remember, last time he was able to bury the ball inside the 1-yard line. Rashad Baker awaits the punt around the 11-yard line. Angles to the corner. And another big hop. Look at that coverage. Well, a game ball is going to the special teams on punt coverage. Again, they down it at the 1. Tennessee in a hole one more time. Well, let's take a look at our Exxon and Mobil scoring recap. Washington got Tennessee on the board. That 7-yard touchdown. Bennett comes back with a 29-yard field goal. Scott from 17 yards. It looked like Tennessee, Andre was going to pull away. But then Gary runs it back 72 yards to make it 14-10. Gibson, the 15-yard touchdown. And then Walls ties it with a 25-yard field goal. And that's where we stand, 17-17 in Knoxville.
Yeah, Damian Gary is just a huge turnaround in terms of emotions and getting Georgia back in the game with that punt return.
I know one thing that Tennessee will work on this week is punt return. Double tight set once again as the Volunteers start this drive inside their 1-yard line. And off, big hole. And now you can breathe if you're a Volunteer fan. Deal, the nose tackle, made the stop on Travis Stevens, but again, the sea parted, and he took his time picking his way through.
Really didn't waste any time, just north and south right there. Head and shoulders down, getting positive yards, and just tough running to get some breathing room for the offense.
Average starting field position this half. Georgia's been at midfield. Tennessee for 10. In the last 2 drives have started inside the 1. Still a scoreless 3rd quarter. Second effort, push back. The guys in white say no. They'll mark his progress to about the 8-yard line. So a pickup of 1. That brings up 3rd down and call it 2.
John Jones around the football. David Pollock as well. Georgia just kind of clogging up the middle of the defense. They know Tennessee doesn't really want to take or gamble on this end of the field. So they're going to pack more guys inside, 8, 9 guys in the box, and force you to pick it up and throw it.
Gilbert, the middle linebacker for Georgia, good size at 246. You know, up front, they go 274 with A. Green. Jacobs is big at 265. Sullivan, 280. 3rd down. Awesome. Wants to throw on the run. Oh, had a man, and then quickly the door closed. Bruce Thornton, the sophomore from LaGrange, Georgia, with a big defensive stop.
A roll to Casey Clausen's right side, gets flushed out of the pocket just a little bit. A dangerous throw coming back inside, away from his body, across the field. And Bruce Thornton has really answered the bell today in terms of pass defense.
Colquitt, 5 yards deep in his end zone, and a left footer boots it high. Gary will let this bounce, but again, Georgia in terrific field position at the 43-yard line. Only a 33-yard punt. There's Mark Richt in his first year at Georgia. And Andre, here's what first-year coaches have done. Vince Dooley, 7-3-1. Ray Goff, 6-6. Jim Donnan went 5-6. No, Donnan finished with a 40-19 record, but still, time for a change, they said.
Wow.
So Rick off to a 2-1 start, and boy, would this be something they can pull off a win here in Knoxville. David Green somehow escapes trouble and then pulled down at the line of scrimmage at the 43-yard line. For an update on Iowa and Purdue, let's go back to New York, and here's Tim Randall.
All right, Craig, an entertaining game. Kyle McCann going to work to his favorite target, Khalil Hill, makes it 14-13. Interesting game also in the Big Ten. Indiana now up on Wisconsin 26-0. LeBron Williams, 3 touchdowns rushing. Entertaining games to be sure.
Well, up by 26. A little pitch and catch, not much, but Edwards makes the grab to the 39-yard line.
That's a little screen play I've always liked. You roll the quarterback one way, set his feet, and the outside receiver's coming underneath with a tackle pulling out.
All the stars and stripes are out. You see it everywhere. Third down conversion today. Georgia only 1 of 7.
Here come that 107,000.
Yeah. Everyone on their feet at Neyland Stadium. From the shotgun, David Green. Pedals, good coverage, throws, sideline, bodies fly, incomplete, no flags. A couple of players on the deck, but no flags. Teddy Gaines down on coverage for Tennessee. So, 4th down for Georgia. They cannot take advantage of that field position, and right now, it's just punch it down deep. Tennessee can't move. They punt back, and they give credit to the volunteer defense.
I think the coaching staff for Georgia right now, they're satisfied that they don't want to make a mistake. They're on the road in a big conference game. You're not going to gamble. That's why Coach Rick didn't go for it on 4th and inches the possession before. They could gamble. Defense played well. We're going to try it again. We'll go for the pooch again.
Well, Kilgo's been able to kill it twice down inside the 1-yard line, and again takes a hard bounce. And this time, the coverage can't get down the field fast enough. And so it'll be at the 20-yard line for Tennessee. And tomorrow, regional action on CBS. Tennessee, Eddie George and the guys taking on the world champion Baltimore Ravens. Late game, good one. Kansas City, always a tough AFC West battle at Denver. And, of course, it all begins with the NFL Today, Jim Nantz. And the rest of the gang will start it off. And for more, get NFL team reports at cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. Big day tomorrow on the NFL here on CBS.
Brian Greasy playing just outstanding football at Denver. Has really mastered that offense for the Broncos.
And you always see Dad up in the stands watching the sun. Yeah. Tennessee with the football at the 20-yard line. To the sideline it comes. And turning upfield, Washington. Oh, stopped on a dime and picked up 2 more yards to the 32-yard line. A 1st down, Tennessee. Best field position this half. John Jones made the tackle.
Just the pass route here, a 6-yard hitch route. He's so big and so strong. He just slings the defender off Bruce Thornton and gets more extra 5 yards after the catch.
You know, Andre, it's interesting. There was so much talk and hype about Washington, but it's made very clear this guy is not a media creation or sensation.
Not at all.
This young guy knows how to play this game, and it just has the natural talent. 1st down, Volunteers. Fawcett throws, incomplete. A ball you got to catch. I mean, Leonard Scott liked to have that one back.
Same pass to the other side of the field that was just thrown to Kelly Washington. You got to catch the ball first. But Bruce Thornton was on this side of the field defending Kelly Washington. They flip-flop him over to the wide side. And what does Casey Clausen do? He goes to that side where Bruce Thornton is. He's got that bullseye on him now.
15 of 23, 152 yards and a pair of early touchdowns. Last week, 309 against LSU in a 26-18 win. 2nd down, 10 from the 32-yard line. Troy Fleming, the ball carrier. Not much. Tony Gilbert. What a nice football game today.
Said bend but don't break defense. We'll give up some hitch routes, some 6-yard hitch routes. But when it's 3rd down, we got to rally to the football. We got to play right, keep everything in front of the markers, and bring them up short of 1st down. Georgia's been successful doing it so far.
Travis Stevens, the lone back. Tennessee 5 of 13 today on 3rd downs. We're looking at 3rd and 8. 3-step drop, Clausen. We wanted Washington to come back to the football, and there's just one instance of inexperience.
Yeah, it's right there. He just forces a play. He had Bobby Graham in the slot to his right, wide open. He chose to come down to the bottom of the short side of the field, and that's just falling in love with a receiver a little bit too much.
Colquitt again, and the punt, and the left footer gets it away under some heavy pressure. Flags are down. Gary at the 32, Gary at the 35. Gary fumbles the football on the deck. Georgia looks like they've covered up.
It looked like Ben Watson was able to get there and recover the fumble.
2 flags down at the 25 and the 28-yard line.
The referee threw this flag, but it looks like Tim Walsley may have been blocked in the back into the punter. We'll see here.
Here's the call. Tom Ritter, our referee.
We had 2 flags. However, we're going to wave off the running into the kicker because there was a hold on the offense.
Tim Walsley was right, and he complained to the official that he was blocked into the punter. It turns out he was being held while he was being blocked into the punter.
Still discussing whether they'll spot this football. That was a 33-yard punt and a 6-yard return.
Holding on the kicking team, that penalty is declined. Take the result of the play.
So penalty decline. Georgia starts at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, once again, good field position. Sooner or later, you mess around with that spread offense of Mark Riggs, they're going to get hot, and if you allow them to hang around, and David Green gets a hot hand, look out.
Well, this third quarter quickly winding down with 1:22 left. Green throws to the flat. It's caught. Verron Haynes still on his feet, and the big fullback rumbles and stumbles to the 40. A 20-yard little pitch and catch.
Talking to the coaching staff this week, you asked, who's the leaders on your football team? Verron Hayes stepped up, a new coaching staff. He's made the coaching staff proud. He's gotten guys to work harder in the offense, off-season, through the off-season program. Just playing solid football this afternoon.
Officially 21 yards. One of the team captains for Georgia on the ground. When Musa Smith, as long as the legs continue he picks them up, carries a couple of guys on his back around 215, and when you think there's no yardage, he walks away with 2, maybe 3.
It's just amazing how he moves the pile forward and just north and south, but he has a burst as well to get around the corner. A good football player for his size.
From the shotgun, 2nd down, call it 8. 3 wideouts. Green, great play fake, and then falls incomplete as he had McMichael open, but led him just a little bit too much. That stops the clock with 28:6 left here in the third. Randy McMichael, good-looking tight end. He's been slowed a lot by injuries in his career at Georgia with thumbs and knees.
He moves around well for a guy that big, 6'4", almost 230 pounds. Good hands. Catches the football with his hands.
3rd down and 8. Green under pressure. Henderson brought the heat. Big John Henderson, 6'7", 290. Maybe he did have that halftime speech.
Maybe Casey got to him. Just a lot of pressure from the pocket. The pocket collapses around David Green. And, you know, I've never been a fan of play action. You see the play action here on 3rd down. You got a team that's blitzing you. David Green has no chance to get the football up.
So that ends the 3rd quarter with our score still knotted at 17. We'll return to Neyland Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. Well, tension is a good word to use here in Knoxville. 17-17, Georgia, Tennessee. And now, once again, the punt, kill goal. And back to receive is Rashard Baker. High hanger. Baker leans forward and takes it and knees at the 13-yard line.
He does a good A good job of killing the ball.
Timeout. 17 all. We'll be back. .14:53 left. Georgia, Tennessee in a battle. 17-17. It's the NCC. Yeah, indeed. Tennessee now with the football. Bobby Graham goes in motion. Balls will keep it on the ground to Travis Stevens. A couple of yards to the 15-yard line.
Josh Mallard fighting off. Just blocks inside to make a tackle.
Greg Bullerjack, Andre Ware, first game on CBS. My goodness, 17-17 for the Heisman winner. Not bad, huh?
It's been a fantastic start. I'll tell you that. It's a good ball game. Turned into somewhat of a chess match here in the second half, but maybe whoever ends up with the football last.
Second down and 8. Tennessee trying to stay perfect on the year. 3-0, 2-0 in SEC play. On the play action, they throw the tight end Witten. Oh, great tackle. Hit him right on the side pads, and Warnsley has played a football game.
He may be the player of the game for Georgia thus far. Downing punts inside the 5-yard line, knocking passes away, and then tackling a big tight end on the move coming right at him. Good play fake by Casey Clausen. Just play action pass, rolling to his left, and delivering a good pass.
Well, fourth quarter time of possession this season. That tells a big story right there. Tennessee's dominated nearly 72% of the time. They've given up, what, 12, nearly 13 minutes for opponents? Not much. Tennessee 5 of 14 on third down tries. Clausen is on the run, looks for help, heads to the sideline. Oh, took a late hit, and the flags come out. I mean, he took a licking. Go as we take you back in time, and Casey Clausen quickly got up at this stump.
Well, they made the call, the right call here on Casey Clausen. Definitely, Chris Clemens hits him and knocks him out of bounds. Hits him while he's going out of bounds. Just a bad choice of to actually hit the guy. Should actually trying to pull up on it, but they miss a call on Bobby Graham, who's crossing for Casey Clausen. Linebacker Boss Bailey just grabs his jersey.
That gives Tennessee a first down at the 39-yard line. Will draw play up the middle, stumbles, but still regains his feet. Travis Stevens. And for a college football update, back to New York, and here's Tim Brando.
All right, fellas, Brandon Hance, watch this. A couple of pump fakes out of the shotgun formation, and then he tucks it. And the Boilermakers of Joe Tiller in a very entertaining game against the Hawkeyes, up by 6 in the fourth. Back to Craig and Andre.
Hey, Tim, I could guarantee you, here's Andre Ware, who he had a few tucks and a few runs in his day. You get a little heated, I can tell on that.
I like throwing it more so than running it.
Second down 6 for the Volunteers. Especially in the fourth quarter. Breaking through the pile. Somehow, Stevens at the 35-30. Flags down back around the 45. 2 flags, in fact, to the 45 and 48. Late flags came out. That was a long ways away from where Stevens was running.
This kid ought to be the definition of patience.
He's hobbled a little bit.
Just a little bit. He's running hard. Maybe some cramps, because he's certainly carried the load in the running game for Tennessee today.
We'll bring this one back. That wipes out a 33-yard run by Travis Stevens.
Travis Stevens is clearly the man.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Still second down.
He's clearly the man. We're talking to Coach Phil Fulmer. He likes all his backs. Travis Stevens is the man. You look here, just a little inside. He disappears in this area, comes out of there, and straight north and south. That's why he has all those positive yards. He comes into a pile. If he's able to get out, he's directly up the field.
They credit Herrera, who moved from left tackle to guard today with that hold. Lawson throws underneath. Complete. Good shoestring tackle. Troy Fleming just checked in, and Gilbert, who's been all over the field, brings him down at the 49-yard line.
Casey Clausen's a guy. If you give him some time, you play some zone coverage behind him, he's going to pick you apart eventually. He does a good job of getting himself going through his progressions and finding there, checking down to the back, which is probably his last option in the pass practice.
Well, you've got Stevens, who went off with what looked to be a nicked up ankle, and now Troy Fleming had to be helped off. You know, you just mentioned about the depth of tailback. It's young, and there's a potential of some great players coming out of this system. Corey Larkin, Shedrick Houston, Jabari Davis, Derek Tinsley. Washington wrapped up at the 45-yard line. Well, today's Rigid Tools Scholar Athlete Award goes to Will Bartholomew of Tennessee. Rigid Tools' commitment to the investment of our future shown today by donating $1,000 to Tennessee's General Scholarship Fund. And by the way, Bartholomew already has earned his finance degree back in May with that GPA 3.53. Wonderful. He's the definition of student athlete.
Absolutely, already graduated and still just playing through his final season.
Under 11 minutes left, second down and 4. Two wideouts to the far side. Not much. Gilbert with a picture-perfect tackle on Corey Larkin, the redshirt freshman who came in with only 10 carries. He's a former defensive back turned tailback.
Coach Randy Sanders there trying to spread the field, spread Georgia out a little bit, go to the shotgun, and then run the draw play, create some running lanes for Corey Larkin.
Big offensive line of Tennessee. You just saw Will Offenbusel, who's 6'8", 320 on the right side tackle. They can move some people around. Coming up on 10 minutes left, fourth quarter, 17-17, Tennessee and Georgia. Third down and short. Back in the game is Stevens, wasn't out long. And a first down, Tennessee at the 40-yard line. Clemens made the tackle for Georgia.
Go over to the sideline, get a little rub down, get that cramp out, come right back in. We put our horse back in the game. He'll lead us right up the hole for a first down.
Good coaching matchup today. Phil Fulmer, of course, 10 years in Knoxville as the head coach. And Mark Richt for Georgia. First and 10 from the 40-yard line of the Bulldogs. Clausen with the pump. Out of the pocket he goes. Flags are down. Chased and throws out of bounds. Incomplete. But a flag at the 41. Boy, heavy pressure by Charles Grant, number 19, the junior.
Good smart play by Casey Clausen, just getting rid of the football.
Flag on Tennessee.
You've got two quarterbacks who are just kind of maturing right before your eyes.
Yeah, good point.
Casey Clausen and David Green, just every week they seem to get better and better. A good grasp of the offense and just playing well.
Tom Ritter.
Illegal formation on the offense. Only 6 men on the line of scrimmage. 5 yards. Replay first down.
You know, Casey Clausen is 9-1 as a volunteer starter. And Andre, honestly, it's got to be unfair to compare him to what Peyton Manning did here in Knoxville.
It really is.
At this point.
It really is. This early.
First and 15 from the 45. And up and over at the 40. I mean, Gilbert and Wansley sent Stevens airborne.
Like a propeller. Tim Wansley, he knows that he can't come in and tackle Travis Stevens high. He's too powerful, built too low to the ground. So he comes in, what does he do? He goes right down around the ankles, just like an airplane propeller. Here Travis Stevens outside, then back inside. Here comes Tim Wansley. Good defensive stop there.
If you have any question about durability
Don't question that man's toughness.
Travis Stevens, 29 carries today, 173 yards. To the flat, a little bit high, incomplete. For an update on Virginia, Maryland, we go back to New York, and the man who knows and sees all, Tim Rando.
Could it be a day for former offensive coordinators? Ralph Friedgen, now the head coach at Maryland, used to be at Georgia Tech. Sean Hill, his second touchdown pass of the day, and now left after an interception. It's 31-21. Fellas, back to you.
Just amazing. Maryland has come a long way in a short period of time.
Long way. 17 all here in Knoxville. Heading down the home stretch with 8:47 remaining. 3rd down and 10. Lawson, good protection. Over the middle, ball tipped once, twice, incomplete.
Great play there by Jermaine Phillips. You got Kelly Washington trying to work the inside of the field. Passes Jermaine Phillips, and a good job of just getting his hands up to knock the ball down. This kid does a good job of working his way into zone coverage. Tim Walmsley comes back, works behind him, knocking the football away. He is all over the field for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Impressive. Impressive day for Walmsley. Once again, the punt and a high hanger. Fair catch signaled for at the 12-yard line. So a timeout. 8:34 left in Knoxville. Couldn't be closer. 8:34 left here in Knoxville, 4th quarter. Georgia, Tennessee putting on quite an SEC battle today. 17 all. Greg Bolerjack, Andre Ware, and his volunteer crowd up and alive. Noisy in that end zone. They throw underneath. Complete. Freddie Gibson. Breakaway speed at the 40. And Gibson out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
You're talking about a kid who hadn't caught a ball all season long and comes in here today, catches the first one for a touchdown. Just a drop back here by David Green. He comes underneath all the way across coverage, and then it's just pure athletic ability and speed. Down the sideline, run down along the sideline with Jabari Green. But wow, just an underneath route. You clear it out with a tight end. You come underneath with the wide receiver, David Green. An easy read, gives it to him, and lets him make a play with his legs.
Well, the play went 55 yards. And now Georgia, and even field goal range with another 5 to 10 yard pickup. And off the right side is Jasper Saints. Julian Battle had to come up on the strong side, the strong safety position to make the tackle. Saints is getting some pretty good reps today and relief of Musa Smith, but we see a flag down.
Alex Jackson had held on just a little bit too long. It was a good block for a while, but he held on just a tad bit too long.
Well, you leave no question what Phil Fulmer wants. Let's push them back.
Absolutely. At least get them out of field goal range.
And once again, Tom Ritter.
During the run, holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, replay first down.
So Phil Fulmer gets his wish. They push him back to the 39-yard line. First down now. They'll replay it 15 on the 39-yard line. Georgia from the eye. Green, the left-hander. Good protection. Steps and throws complete. Randy McMichael.
I'm really amazed with him being a redshirt freshman quarterback with his poise and his patience. He stands in the pocket and waits for his tight end, Randy McMichael, to come open. He was covered in zone coverage. Just guys in the middle of the field, the linebackers, waited for him to clear and hits him in the dead spot of the defense.
Andre, the most interesting point he told us this week, this team has no superstars. And he says that's good. We've come together because we play together.
Absolutely.
And right now in the 4th quarter, how true. To the 17. Henderson with the tackle on Musa Smith.
Grind it out now with Musa Smith. But the play before, going back one play, David Green having to make a throw to move the offense. He had a big penalty by an offensive lineman after a big run. That puts a lull in the offense. But he comes back, steps up, makes a big throw to get his team right back in field goal position.
You can feel the tension again in this stadium. Last year in Athens, Georgia won, snapping a 9-game losing skid, 21-10. Saints gets the ball up the middle to the 12.
The two-headed monster, so to speak, Lucius Smith and now Jasper Saints, almost alternating on every play. Lucius Smith gets tired, Jasper Saints comes in, and they don't miss a beat.
And don't forget this guy right here, 35, Captain Veron Haynes, leading the way through that big front of Tennessee.
A little winded, but he has certainly done a good job of lead blocking all day for those two tailbacks.
Right now, Georgia is satisfied to let this clock continue to wind down. 6:37 and counting. 17-17. Georgia has not won here since Herschel Walker was a freshman back in 1980. Flags are down. Ooh, nearly intercepted at the 5-yard line. Jabari Greer, the right corner, but flags are down at the 11. Georgia's going to have to march back 5, and so instead of 3rd and 2, it's going to be 3rd and 7.
Well, this offense, that might be a little too close. You need some more breathing room. Move us back a little bit so we can have a little more space to throw the football. You don't want to get too close with that close passing game that Coach Mark Richt brings. Well, you just got to be impressed with the way Georgia has stepped up on the road in front of this crowd and played well.
Well, they told us it's all about attitude. And you know what? They're playing for Mark Richt.
You're right.
A timeout. Georgia calls timeout, and we'll take a break. 17-17 in Knoxville. And don't forget NFL action tomorrow here on CBS here in Knoxville. 17-17. 3 timeouts remain for the Volunteers. Only 1 left for the Bulldogs. They're going to pitch it out to Musa. Inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. Good hard hit by Rashawn Baker, the free safety.
Really not willing to take a gamble in that situation. Going to go for the for sure points after watching David Green kind of almost force one to play before and almost for an interception. They're going to make sure they have the best chance to get some points on the board here late in the 4th quarter.
Bennett hit a 29-yard field goal in the opening quarter for the first points for the Bulldogs. This will be from 31 yards. He'll go to Holder, and the left footer gets it up, and good from 31. So Georgia takes the lead. First points of this half, 20-17. A 31-yard boot. .544 left in Knoxville, and just moments ago, Bennett from 31 yards out. And Georgia, who has not won on this field since 1980, up by 3. 7 plays, 75 yards, and Georgia works 250 off the game clock. Brett Kerouac has it teed up at the 35-yard line. And no return. 7 yards deep in the end zone. And tonight on CBS, it's all new, beginning with Touched by an Angel, followed by the new series critics give 4 stars. Citizen Baines did not miss Saturday's #1 drama, The District, starring Craig T. Nelson. It's all here tonight on CBS.
You got to give credit where credit's due. And the coaching staff of Georgia coming into a place that is tough to win on the road. And you're coming in against the #6 ranked team in the country. Right now, you're leading them going down the stretch.
You come against the #1 team in the SEC defensively, only giving up 222 yards a game, and so tough on the ground, giving up only 41 yards. Clausen dumps it off. Not much. For an update on Rutgers and Syracuse, back to New York, and here's Tim.
Craig, the Scarlet Knights haven't won an overtime game in '99 in the Big East. That was the last time they won a Big East game, and now Rico Fletcher takes that one in from Ryan Kubik, and it's tied up at 17.
Been a tough year for Coach Pasqualoni up at Syracuse.
What a chance to see them in the kickoff classic against Georgia Tech. They played well the first half, and then Georgia Tech just took over and rolled the second half.
5 minutes remaining here in Knoxville. Neyland Stadium packed to capacity. Tennessee down by 3. Clausen, the sophomore, tucks and runs at the 20-25. And Clausen leans to the 26-yard line and hit hard by Charles Grant to the right end.
I want to see him get down just a little bit sooner. Good protection there. It's just good coverage down the field by the Georgia Bulldogs. They play zone, not a whole lot of room to throw the football. Casey stepping up, working the pocket a little bit, see some daylight, get down just a little bit earlier.
Chris Clemens also in on that stop. Clausen's numbers, 179 total yards. Tennessee 7 of 17 on third downs. They need 4 to keep this drive alive. In the pocket, throws, caught, first down, Volunteers. Bobby Graham made the catch. You see him cover up. Not going to lose the football. First down of this drive continues.
Gets in a crowd, just going to cradle the football, make sure I got the first down. You look at Casey Clausen. His eyes are down the field. He's reading coverage, comes off to a guy that's wide open, reads the zone out, comes down to Bobby Graham, checks it down to Bobby Graham for a first down.
Under 4 minutes left. Tennessee with all 3 timeouts remaining. Georgia with 1. And they go right to the strength of Georgia. Maybe 2 yards. Sullivan in on the stop along with Clemens. And we take you back last year. Well, that snapped a 9-year drought. Musa Smith went up and over, and it was 21-10 the final. And the goalpost did come down.
The Tennessee players didn't like that goalpost coming down on them.
2nd down and 7. Troy Fleming checks in. The Tennessee backfield, 3 wideouts. Check that 4. Clausen chewing up some clock from the shotgun, steps up, slings it near side. Washington turns up and is bumped out of bounds at the 49 of Georgia. And it stops the clock. Most importantly, Andre, with 2:52 left, Jermaine Phillips pushed him out after a 15-yard gain.
This is kind of unfair. But how long does he stay at Tennessee? I mean, the guy is a phenomenal athlete. The way he's picked up on things, I mean, I don't see him here until his senior year, but maybe that's been the kind of the trend, is that they stay the 4 years once they're here at Tennessee. But this guy is talented.
9 catches, 108 yards. He told us, I want to talk about it right now. He's still got things to learn, and he's learning today as Clausen steps up under pressure, picks up some yards, flags go down around the 44-yard line. Clemens playing a whale of a game today along with Gilbert. The backers along with Boss Bailey, very active for the Bulldogs.
Just an inopportune time to have a holding penalty. You're moving down the field, your quarterback making plays with his legs, and then lo and behold, there goes the flag to bring you back 10 yards.
Clausen nearly lost the right shoe. Offensive coordinator Randy Sanders looking on was a quarterback here with Tennessee. You know what's amazing? Once you're a Bull, you're always a Bull. I mean, there's Phil Fulmer. He played here. Sanders played here. Defensive coordinator John Chavis was a walk-on back in the mid-70s. Once a Bull, always a Bull.
Continuity. That's the success of the Tennessee program.
This Coach Chavis.
All of them have been here for a while.
Yeah. First down. Clausen throws incomplete. Stops the clock. Bobby Graham, the intended receiver. And there's Phil Fulmer, offensive guard at 68-71. Chavis and Randy Sanders. We had to get Chavis a little trouble. He goes, hey, that was the 70s do at the time. You know, now look at it.
You know what? We've been here since a couple of days this week. I think I have yet to see him smile. He is just all business.
In our meeting, there was very rarely you saw a crack of a smile. He is very focused with his job. 2nd down, 18. Clausen from the shotgun. Tennessee up top. Oh, big catch. Washington had it at top 3. Incomplete. Wansley and Gilbert delivered the big hit. Well, now it's time for the CBS Sports Line stat of the game, and it's passing yards. Georgia 244, Tennis 194. For complete game stats, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword, enter CBS Sports Line. 244, 194.
The game has not slowed down one bit. You see the hit Tim Walsley put on our man Kelly Washington. They're just welcoming him across the middle of the field.
21 to 34, 194. 2 touchdowns came early in this game for Casey Clausen. Third down. Pressure, throws, complete. First down, Tennessee. And it's Bobby Graham.
That's what having a good wide receiver will do for your football team. They rotate the coverage down here to protect against Kelly Washington on this side of the field. What does Casey Clausen do? He comes back to the other side to Bobby Graham. Uses his eyes, moves the safeties over to the right side of the field and hits the in route coming from across the field. It's a big-time throw and a long throw all the way back across the football field.
23-yard pickup, and he did it under heavy pressure. Took a good big shot off the right side after the release. 2 minutes left. Tennessee down by 3. Clausen throws, picked off! Phillips, the rover back. Emotion pouring out on that Georgia sideline. Jermaine Phillips, the senior out of Roswell, Georgia.
Just here, just a timed out route. Jermaine Phillips cuts underneath the route. It's a 5-step drop. Casey Clausen is out of his hands. Jermaine Phillips underneath the route and makes a great play. One more time, we're going to look at it. Just sees it, lets it go. He thinks he can get it over Phillips' head. Just underthrows it a little bit for an interception.
1:53 remaining, and right now Georgia wants to run the clock. 3 timeouts, however, remain for Tennessee. And there's the man of the hour, Jermaine Phillips. 3-year letterman, Roswell, Georgia, with the pick. We'll be back. Georgia leading Tennessee 20-17. 1:45 left, and hang on, coming up, game 2 of the doubleheader here. Number 2 ranked Florida taking on 18th ranked LSU. Saints into the pile. Tackled by John Henderson. Timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout. 1:37 left. Georgia by 3. All over again. They knew who they were, and they knew what they had to do. Sunday on 60 Minutes. Timeouts remaining. Georgia with 1, Tennessee with 1. Third down, 5. Loose ball, but it was whistled dead, so it's going to be a 4th down. Tennessee will get the ball back one more time, down 3, Andre, and a timeout remaining with 1:32.
Yeah, just not wanting to gamble very much. Coach Mark Richt there is going to 3 consecutive runs, run back to back to back. Not going to take a chance at throwing an interception. Defense has played well all day, Craig. I'll put it in the defense's hands as well.
Now, Tennessee has used the timeout. Georgia has one if they would need it. And right there you see the offensive coordinator of Tennessee. That was Randy Sanders talking with Clausen. And now Philip Fulmer pacing the sideline. Former quarterback talking to his young sophomore.
I guess the question here is, do you go after the punt? There's not a whole lot of time, and if you block it, you almost assure yourself of a field goal. So you got to stay tuned for that one.
Well, Tennessee's had so much success under Philip Fulmer here at Neyland Stadium. Andre, this is incredible numbers, but 51-4 in this stadium. 4 losses include 3 to the Florida Gators and 1 to Bama. Jonathan Kilgo will punt this football just inside his own 25-yard line. Rashad Baker awaits. Good snap, and they do come with pressure. Kilgo gets under and turns it over at the 15-yard line. And a long ways to go for Tennessee
And not much time.
No timeouts. 1:21 left. As I look around Neyland Stadium, I see still the orange faithful stain in their seats.
Well, nobody's, not one person has left early. They are going to cheer their team on to the bitter end.
Up next, it's Florida and LSU. SEC doubleheader here on CBS. Casey Clausen under center, 3 wide receiver set. Georgia rushes 3. Caught, then dropped. They're going to say incomplete around the 36-yard line, and it was Kelly Washington taking the hit from Jermaine Phillips. Thea Phillips has been a hitter today, along with Gilbert, the middle linebacker, David Jacobs, the nose tackle. They've spread this wealth around quite a bit with his Bulldog defense.
I'll tell you what, Bruce Thornton has played well, having played 2 not subpar games, so to speak. Not bad games, but subpar games. He played well today.
Again, Georgia lines up with 3 rushers. Clausen on 2nd down. Now throws near sideline. It's caught. Couldn't get to the sideline, however, to stop the clock. And that was Troy Fleming, knocked down by Boss Bailey.
And it's going to stop the clock just briefly to move the chains and set it and get it back in place. Casey Clausen trying to get a play called where he can get the ball snapped pretty quick here.
And Andre Tennessee now is going to have to shadow the play of Georgia with that hurry-up offense, the no-huddle feel. Over the middle. Knocked down, incomplete. Boss Bailey leaned out. Incomplete. Stops the clock. 57 seconds left. No timeouts for Tennessee.
Georgia's just going to play zone defense and drop deep. Casey Clausen had Troy Fleming in a swing pattern. Give it to him. Let him get out of bounds. Get you 7-8 yards. All you need is a field goal. You got plenty of time. 57 seconds left. That's an eternity when all you need is a field goal. Don't force the ball.
Again, Georgia really spreading the field. They drop back 8. 3 on the rush. They throw to the flat little screen. Here comes Travis Stevens at the 45, 40. You gotta be kidding. Stevens, 10, 5. Touchdown.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Burst of speed like that since I don't know when. 62 yards. Travis Stevens around the corner and in.
What a play call by Randy Stevens. Everybody drop back in zone coverage. Prevent defense, drop off the screen, and let your horse lead you in.
Alex Walls with the extra point. Low snap, and the boot is away, and good. Playing Rocky Top in Knoxville.
Yeah, everybody dropped back in coverage, just a little screen out. Anthony Herrera, a good block there, and Travis Stevens just on his legs. Casey Clausen he can see it. He's watching it from behind the line of scrimmage, watching the play develop, going down to congratulate his teammate. What a football play. Just outside and just pure speed up the sideline. And they're in prevent defense, so everybody's back deep already.
Rush 3, and they drop back 8. And look at Coach Philip Fulmer and the stadium shaking. Unbelievable comeback late. Georgia with a terrific performance today. On the road, 4 plays, 78 yards on for a 37-second drive.
That's doing it pretty quick.
Well, call it what you want. But there's a magical sense, a magical feel here at Neyland Stadium.
You're absolutely right. What does that do for Casey Clausen's confidence as a young quarterback? 37-second drive, you're down. You need a field goal to go into overtime, and you deliver a touchdown pass.
Little split kick. And down on the dirt at the 41-yard line. Boy, the emotions running high both sidelines. Randy McMichael brought it in and held it for Georgia at the 41-yard line. One timeout for the Bulldogs. You know, Henderson, the Outland Trophy winner, Andre, we know this well, and Casey Clausen, they've had some jaw sessions. And there's a lot of emotion played between these two about let's play to win SEC championship and then a national title.
Yeah.
1st and 10, Georgia down by 4 and one timeout left. David Green in the pocket, throws and complete. Breaks the tackle. Damian Gary, who has that breakaway speed, past midfield to the 47-yard line. Watt and Baker make the tackle.
Here's the go-ahead touchdown right here. Casey Clausen reading it out, just drops it off. 3-man rush. Out here, Anthony Herrera gets a block, and it's all Travis Stevens down the sideline.
On the rollout, the left-hander throws incomplete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orange jerseys around the football.
Keep in mind, Georgia, they're out of timeout, so with 20 seconds left, 26 seconds left. Excuse me, they have one timeout left. One timeout left. They're looking for a big completion. Get themselves down there and then take a shot at a home run. There's not very much time left.
3 wideouts, 2 to the far side. 26 ticks left, 4th quarter. 2nd down, 10. David Green, good poise, good throw over the middle. Caught! Randy McMichael in traffic.
It is not over by a long shot.
At the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, Georgia.
20 seconds, you can get, what, roughly 3 plays off in 20 seconds.
David Green threaded the needle. I mean, that's cliche, but that's the truth. Back he goes, throws, complete.
Now you call the timeout.
Back to McMichael, the tight end. Andre Lott wrapped him up inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. My. 10 seconds left.
What a football game. What a football game. Everybody, all 107,000 of them are on their feet. Wow.
No timeouts. Georgia burns their final timeout.
Here's the tail end of Travis Stevens' touchdown run. Was he in bounds? You look here. Did he cross the goal line? All it takes is just to knock the pylon down. It's a touchdown, folks.
10 seconds remaining. David Green, Casey Clausen. Folks, if you want to know the future of quarterbacking in the SEC, you've seen 2 incredible, calm, confident performances by both these young men. Clausen, a sophomore. David Green, a redshirt freshman.
It's got to be a quick throw, Craig, so if it's incomplete, you got at least one more down. 10 seconds, you can get 2 plays off in 10 seconds. You cannot hold the football and let it run out.
Mark Richt, first year as the head coach. Michael Johnson lines up in the slot to the far side. Play fake, Green throws, all alone, touchdown, Dogs! For Ron Haynes. Stunned silence for the folks in orange.
You almost hate that somebody's got to lose this football game, just the way the kids have played all day long. You just hate that somebody's got to go out of here the loser today. Actually, there are no losers. Both teams have showed a tremendous amount of pride, a tremendous amount of character. Just going to come up on the short end of the stick.
5 seconds remain. David Green, so cool, so calm, under immense pressure. It's been a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. With it being my first one here on CBS, I couldn't have asked for a better ending than this one.
How will you match this?
I don't know. I'm not going to try, to tell you the truth. Wow.
Illegal timeout was the call, and that's why the flag came out. So a knee, and the clock will run.
Clock didn't move.
Actually, you know what? They're not going to try for the two-point conversion, so the clock would not run. No chance for a block. So 5 seconds left. One final opportunity for Tennessee to touch the football.
Here's a play-action pass to Jasper Sankson into the end zone. He throws to the fullback, Veron Hayes. Just a nice touch on the football. What a gutsy call. Play action. You got to feel some heat. Mark Rick with just an absolute fantastic call. And David Green just lobs it up over the middle of the field.
Well, just moments ago, you saw elation for Philip Fulmer, and now you see the head coach of Tennessee with the grimace. And there's Veron Hayes, 2-year letterman out of Bronx, the New York area captain, one of the captains for Georgia.
Tell you what, his family's got to be proud of him. He's played a fantastic football game this afternoon. To cap it off with a winning touchdown pass. I won't say that yet. There's still 5 seconds left on that clock.
Don't forget, coming up next, still more SEC football here on CBS. Doubleheader continues with Florida and LSU. A high hanging kick. Taken at the 23-yard line, and they're going to do a little pitch out. There's a loose ball, and the clock runs dry. Georgia pulls off the win in Knoxville, their first victory since a man named Herschel Walker was a freshman back in 1980.